Hello world, welcome to Netmother Tech Academy. I'm happy to welcome you all to another episode where we learn some Python programming. And today we are going to learn how to solve the jumbled word. This is how our final program is going to look like. Let's take a jumbled word, jumbled characters, and it's going to give us all the possible English words, English dictionary words that could be made with these jumbled characters. Perfect. So let's dive straight into it. So to do this, what we are going to do is let's first start by making a list to store all our words and making another empty list for the input characters, whatever the characters that the user enters, we are going to put them as individual characters in a list. So input word, let's ask the user to enter the word. And what we are going to do is for each char in input word, we're going to add it into our list. So let's just check out to make sure that this is working. Okay, everything seems good till now. Now we are going to do the jumbled words. To do this, first let's start by writing a simple helper function. I'm going to call it add to words. What this function is going to do is it's going to get an input word and it's going to put that input word into our words list after doing some basic validations. If not input word in words, make sure we don't add duplicate words. And if the length of input word is at least 2, then we are going to put it into our final words. That is pretty simple. So all this function does is adds our word into our final list. So let's start our find, or let's call it solve jumbled words algorithm or function. So we're gonna get the list of words and we are gonna get the joining word and we're gonna try and solve it. So when we first start this or make the initial call to this function, what we are going to do is we are going to pass the list which we have formed here and we are going to pass an empty string as the joining word. So what we are going to do is whatever we are getting in the joining word, we are going to add it to our words. When we first call it, it will be an empty word. Of course, it will not go in there. But after adding this one, our next step is going to be to check our list with the words, right? Okay, so we are going to check if the list that we pass has only one character. If that's the case, what we are going to do is we are going to take that character and add it to our joining word and make sure this new word gets added to our list. Let's go ahead now that we have handled the edge case where the length is just 1. What if there are more than 1 characters? So for each character in our list, we are gonna take each character. Actually, we can access this with the length of the list with the range. So that way we can index it properly. So for range from I till the total length of the list, we are going to take the first element, let's say, so that'll be L of I, and we are going to add it into our joining word and make a new joining word. So whatever joining word we had, we are adding the first character. Great. Now that we have made a new joining word, we can recursively call our solve function with the list and the new joining word that we found, which will be this one. But the list that we pass here, since we have already taken out the ith character, we want to pass everything except the ith character. So from 0 to I plus I plus 1 till the end. And we this character that we put into the joining word, we are now going to remove it back before the next iteration starts. So all we have to do is go from 0 to -1. That will remove it back. So that should do it. Let's see how this works. Let's print the words and see if everything looks good. So I say ABC. So I get all possible combinations here, which is what we want. And the condition is it should have at least 2 characters. Perfect. Everything looks good. There is only one part left, that is to make sure that all these characters are actually a valid English dictionary word. For example, BAC, CBA are not proper English words. Before we add that logic, just to understand how this recursive call works best, let's print the input and see how it works. And I'm just going to put an empty input statement so it will stop for every recursive call. So let's take the characters ABC. So first time we get ABC and the empty character. This is this call. And next time we took the first character and put it into the joining word and removed it from the list. So we get BC and A. B goes to the joining word. So we get C and A. And now we are trying to do the other combinations now. Just like how we put B here, now we are putting C into A inside this loop. Now this loop is done, then we do it again for A, C, and B. So this time we have taken B out. So that should give us the other characters. And finally, when we take C out, it should give all the other combinations. Hopefully that explanation was clear. Now, as I said before, the only other remaining functionality is to make sure we have only proper English characters. And for that, we are going to import a library called Enchant and make an instance of the English dictionary, which we can do it by enchant.tick. we just have to say what type of library we want. I'm going with the English US library. And before we actually add the word into the dictionary, at this point, I'm gonna check if this English dictionary dot check. So this is gonna check if the input word is actually a valid word. So single if condition. Now let's try to run this one more time. A, B, and C. And now my list is much smaller. I know I have A, B, A, C, but I only have proper English words. So now let's try to run this one more time with another set of jumbled characters. And I get all the possible English words here. Let's try it one more time. Mango. And that gives me a monk, a go, nap, and all those characters. Now, if we want only 3-digit characters, then we can just remove this and put a 3 here. So that will give us only at least 3-digit characters. We can even make it into an input parameter inside this function, so we can get all jumbled characters of any length that we want. Perfect. Thank you everybody for tuning in. I had fun demoing this to you all. We will all meet soon in the next episode. Bye, Bolt.